The Los Angeles Lakers in the preseason were given the second best odds for the team most likely to win the championship this season. But as of April 3rd, 2022, the LA Lakers are ranked 11th in the Western Conference with a record of 31-47 and are currently on a 6-game losing streak. With only 4 games left in the season, the Los Angeles Lakers will have to fight tooth and nail to even have a chance of making the play-in tournament to potentially play in the playoffs. That's a major drop-off from their preseason predictions of the second most likely team in the entire league to win the championship. We all know the Los Angeles Lakers have the talent and experience to be a much better team, let alone potentially miss the playoffs. What could cause a team so solid on paper to perform so much differently from their preseason predictions? Why do the LA Lakers suck? In today's video, I'm going to answer one of the NBA's biggest questions and show you exactly why the Los Angeles Lakers suck right now. But before we dive into the video, I'm Hoops Expert and welcome to my channel. If you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. Thank you, and let's get started. The Lakers traded a lot of pieces and sacrificed cap space for Russell Westbrook. The former MVP's game relies heavily on athleticism, and he's definitely lost some of his athleticism, as he's currently 33 years old. Russell Westbrook also can't shoot well enough to space the floor for the Lakers. He's currently shooting 44% from the field and an atrocious 29% from 3. Russell Westbrook does not fit well with the Lakers because he can't space the floor alongside the superstars in LeBron and Anthony Davis. If the starting point guard can't shoot from 3, defenders will sag off them, making it hard for the Lakers to get to the paint effectively. This ultimately means Russell Westbrook always has to be on the ball or his contribution takes a major hit. And this is a problem because if Westbrook has to handle the ball to be more effective, that means the ball can't handle the ball while on the court with Westbrook. And don't you think you need your best players on the court at the same time? The Lakers should have traded for someone else. Players like Buddy Hield, Kyle Lowry, and DeMar DeRozan were all trade targets for the Lakers last year and during the offseason. Having a knockdown shooter who's effective off the ball like Buddy Hield or Kyle Lowry would have perfectly complemented LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Alex Caruso, who was a very important piece for the Lakers in the 2020 championship season. He was so impactful, he was even starting games in the NBA Finals. Caruso's role wasn't to score, but his ferocious perimeter defense and hustle helped the Lakers be a defensive juggernaut. After the Lakers lost in the 2021 playoffs, Alex Caruso was a free agent and they could have kept him, but the cost of re-signing him would have been significantly more than his contract because the Lakers were already so far over the salary cap and into the luxury tax. The Lakers really lowballed Alex Caruso with a contract offer of 3 years and $21 million, while the Bulls offered just under $40 million over 4 years. Caruso asked the Lakers to match, but the Lakers refused due to their luxury tax concerns. The Lakers then let Alex walk and instead decided to re-sign Talen Horton-Tucker to a 3-year contract worth $32 million. And honestly, Talen Horton-Tucker has been pretty disappointing this year. The Lakers are struggling while Alex Caruso has helped turn the Chicago Bulls into one of the league's top-tier teams. Alex would have helped the Lakers out far more than THT. After trading for Russell Westbrook, the LA Lakers were all out for cap space and needed to fill out the rest of their roster with near minimum contract signings. After using the taxpayer mid-level exception to sign Kendrick Nunn to a deal worth just over $10 million total for 2 years, the Lakers added the following players in Trevor Ariza, Rajon Rondo, Dwight Howard, Wayne Ellington, Carmelo Anthony, Malik Monk, Kent Bazemore, Avery Bradley, and DeAndre Jordan. But here's the problem with these signings. Kendrick Nunn hasn't played a single game this year as he recovers from a knee injury. Rajon Rondo was traded, DeAndre Jordan was waived, Trevor Ariza barely plays since he's battling injuries, Kent Bazemore is not effective. Only Malik Monk, Carmelo Anthony, and Dwight Howard have been contributing, but that's not enough. The Lakers need to add more contributors. For example, the Golden State Warriors made the right moves with their minimum contracts. They signed Andre Iguodala, Otto Porter Jr., and Nemanja Bjelica, all to minimum deals. Each of these 3 guys have been valuable pieces who complement the Warriors roster really well. The Lakers need to learn from their rivals, the Golden State Warriors. If you were in a coma for 10 years and saw the Lakers roster, obviously you would think they would win the championship. Unfortunately, that's not the case. The Lakers are really, and I mean really old. The Lakers are the oldest team in the entire league. At the start of the season, their roster had an average age of 30 years, which is 1.9 years older than the second team on the list. The Lakers built their roster around a 37-year-old LeBron James, added a 33-year-old Russell Westbrook, a 37-year-old Carmelo, a 36-year-old Trevor Ariza, a 36-year-old Dwight Howard, a 34-year-old Wayne Ellington, and a 32-year-old Kent Bazemore. All these guys are far past their primes, except for LeBron. But the problem with having such an old team is that the old guys can't keep up with all the young talent in the league that can do things like shoot, run the break, and play intense defense. The Lakers lack shooting, can't defend, and are old. Younger players like Alex Caruso were able to step up and become the elite perimeter defender the Lakers needed during their championship season. The older players have a more difficult time changing their long-established playing styles to fit a team's particular needs. There's a reason why Malik Monk and Austin Reeves are getting more minutes. They are young and able to hustle more on defense even if they don't make the biggest impact. But relying on these two will not cut it for the Lakers, and it shows since they're struggling bad right now. Each day that passes, the Lakers are becoming less and less athletic while the roster grows weaker and weaker. Father Time is, and always will be, undefeated. When the Lakers won the championship in 2020, they were a great defensive team. They finished with the league's third best defense that season, but now the Lakers suck at defense. They're currently ranked 23rd in defense. There are multiple reasons for why the defense has dropped so much. In trading for Russell Westbrook, the Lakers lost perimeter defenders with length like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Kyle Kuzma, and also the loss of Alex Caruso. That's 3 important defenders gone. And also, Russell Westbrook's defense has been poor this season. Anthony Davis is also letting the Lakers down defensively. In his championship season, Anthony Davis had a defensive win share of 4.4. This season, it's only 1.9, which is the lowest it's been in his entire career. Davis needs to realize that he is a major reason why the Lakers are bad right now. He needs to change his approach and be the defender we all know he can be. If Davis is effectively defending the rim, outside defenders can press up higher to shooters, knowing they have Anthony Davis backing them up. And Frank Vogel is a great coach and an even better defensive coach. But this year, things have completely fallen off the rail. Frank Vogel has not been able to get his players to unite and buy into the system. His system is built on defense, and unfortunately, he hasn't been given the right players to succeed. But regardless, he has to do better because his players look unmotivated and disinterested in playing any defense. And perhaps one of the biggest reasons why the Lakers suck is due to injuries. First of all, we haven't even seen Kendrick Nunn play a single game. LeBron James has missed 22 games as well. And not to mention Anthony Davis, who's missed 40 games and has only played 38 games this season so far. Anthony Davis was supposed to be the Lakers' foundational piece who would take over the franchise while LeBron aged out of his prime. Yet, things are the opposite right now. LeBron is playing near MVP level basketball at age 37, which isn't a surprise, while Davis can barely stay healthy. Anthony Davis might literally be the most injury-prone superstar in the league, but this has been an issue for most of his career. He's only played 2 seasons in which he's appeared in over 70 games. The 8-time All-Star is supposed to be in his prime and the number 1 option for the Lakers right now, 29 years old. Instead, he's been absent for the majority of the season, and it's really hurt the Lakers all year long. And these are the reasons why the LA Lakers suck right now. The Lakers are stuck in an unfortunate situation, and they have to make some major changes this offseason in order to seriously compete next year. Let me know your opinions about this video, and if you think there was something important I didn't mention by commenting. Anyways, that's the end of this video, and thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. Deuces.